Attention please. We would like to announce that the events will commence shortly. Audience, please be seated. Attention please. We would like to announce that the events will commence shortly. Audience, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, before starting the events, we would like to share some important information. There are two restrooms on this floor, one for the ladies and one for the gents. The ladies' restroom is at the west side of the auditorium, and the gents' restroom is at the east side of the auditorium. The room is equipped with 5 evacuation exits, 3 doors on the west side and 2 doors on the east side of the auditorium.
Tak banyak yang menyadari, untuk meraih mimpi dibutuhkan tekad yang kuat. Dari sinilah kesuksesan dibangun. Sebagai sekolah menengah atas berasrama terbaik di Indonesia, dan dengan berbagai prestasi yang telah ditoreh dalam perjalanannya, SMA Pradita Dirgantara telah menjelma menjadi sekolah favorit dan terpercaya bagi anak-anak berbakat dari seluruh Indonesia. SMA Pradita Dirgantara berada di kawasan yang sangat strategis, yaitu di depan Bandara Adi Sumarmo Solo di Boyolali, Jawa Tengah. Sekolah ini diresmikan pada tahun 2018 oleh Presiden Republik Indonesia ketiga, Profesor B.J. Habibie, Panglima TNI Marsikal Hadi Cahyanto, dan Ketua Umum Yasarini Nyonya Nani Hadi Cahyanto, dan Rektor Universitas 11 Maret, Profesor Rafiq Karsidi. Keberadaan SMA Pradita Dirgantara adalah bukti dan komitmen kuat TNI Angkatan Udara untuk memberikan kontribusi terbaik bagi dunia pendidikan Indonesia untuk mewujudkan generasi emas di tahun 2045. Sekolah ini terwujud berkat kerjasama antara TNI Angkatan Udara, Yayasan Ardya Karini, dan Universitas 11 Maret. SMA Pradita Dirgantara mengemban visi menjadi lembaga pendidikan menengah yang bereputasi di tingkat internasional dengan tetap menjunjung tinggi budaya nasional untuk menghasilkan pemimpin dunia yang cerdas, kreatif, mandiri, dan berwawasan kedirgantaraan. SMA Pradita Dirgantara menciptakan lingkungan sekolah yang selalu mengikuti perkembangan, mengedepankan keamanan dan kenyamanan para siswanya, dengan terus membina seluruh sivitas untuk menjalankan nilai-nilai serta akhlak yang baik. Dengan penerapan kurikulum IP, Cambridge, kurikulum Merdeka, dan ASP.NET, serta pengoptimalan sarana prasarana, menjadikan lulusan-lulusan diterima di berbagai perguruan tinggi negeri favorit di Indonesia maupun luar negeri. Lulusan SMA Pradita Dirgantara juga banyak diterima di Sekolah Kedinasan dan Peminatan TNI Polri. SMA Pradita Dirgantara didukung sumber daya profesional, energik, dan memiliki keahlian mendalam di bidangnya masing-masing. Jajaran manajemen, guru, staf adalah insan-insan berdaya saing unggul dan berdedikasi tinggi. Mereka menggerakkan segenap potensi, energi, dan waktu sebagai pendidik untuk membantu siswa yang kelak menjadi pemimpin dunia. Untuk mendukung terciptanya belajar mengajar yang kondusif, SMA Pradita Dirgantara dilengkapi dengan sarana dan prasarana yang syarat teknologi, di antaranya perpustakaan yang nyaman, ruang rekreasi, laboratorium modern, fasilitas olahraga yang lengkap untuk beragam cabang olahraga. Fasilitas yang mendukung pengembangan Saka Dirgantara. Auditorium digital berkapasitas besar untuk beragam acara, ruang makan yang dapat menampung seluruh siswa dan pegawai, asrama untuk seluruh siswa dan siswi, mes dan rumah tinggal untuk semua guru, tempat ibadah seperti masjid dan gereja, dan berbagai sarana penunjang lainnya. Sejak berdiri pada tahun 2018, SMA Pradita Dirgantara menorehkan berbagai prestasi nasional dan internasional. Mulai dari alumni yang banyak diterima di perguruan tinggi top dalam dan luar negeri. Rekor muri SBMPTN, dan juga Olimpiade Sains Nasional. Tingkat kepercayaan publik terhadap sekolah ini semakin meningkat, dengan semakin bertambahnya jumlah pendaftar PPDB setiap tahunnya.
Kami tidak hanya mengajarkan ilmu pengetahuan, namun kami juga membekali para siswa dengan budi pekerti, kedisiplinan, kemandirian, dan spiritual yang kuat.
Kami meyakini bahwa pola didik yang kami terapkan akan menghasilkan lulusan yang berkarakter kuat sebagai generasi emas bangsa.
Mari bergabung bersama talenta-talenta terbaik Nusantara.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, and warmest greetings. The Honorable President of Junior Chamber International, Mr. Keisuke Shimoyamada. The Honorable Director of School Development Directorate and Distinguished Directorate Board Member. The Principal of Pradita Dirgantara High School. IB Head of School along with the school management.
The head of dormitory. The chairperson of the school committee along with distinguished committee members. All teachers and staff of Pradita Dirgantara High School. Along with all of our dearest friends from Pradita Dirgantara High School.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us express our praise and gratitude towards the Almighty God because of His blessings. Today, Thursday, 16th of October 2025, we are able to attend this entrepreneurship seminar led by Mr. Keisuke Shimoyamada in a very good health.
Next up, allow me, Adina Nushra and my partner, as your guide in this event proceeding.
The rundowns for today's events are as follows. First, opening. Second, singing the national anthem Indonesia Raya and Pradita Dirgantara's hymn. Third, music performance from Pradita Dirgantara students. Fourth, prayer. Fifth, welcoming remarks by the IB head of school. Sixth, seminar by the President of Junior Chamber International. 7, discussion session. 8, photo session. 9, signing quotes session. 10, planning ceremony. And lastly, closing.
Starting the event, singing Indonesia Raya and Pradita Dirgantara's hymn. The audience is invited to rise. The audience may now be seated. Now, let us watch an amazing music performance from Pradita Dirgantara High School students. Please welcome the Trinity of Harmony.
Next, prayers. Tuan Asyakifa Radiansyah, the time is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this beautiful occasion, let us express our gratitude to Almighty God. With your permission, I will lead the prayer according to Islamic teachings. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin, hamdan syakirin, hamdan na'imin, hamdan yuafi ni'amahu wa yukafi'u mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu, kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karim wa azimi sultanik. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. All praise and thanks be to Allah, the most kind, the most merciful. We thank you for your grace and blessings, which bring us together today. We are happy to be here for this special event at Pradita Dirgantara Senior High School. We are honored to welcome the President of Junior Chamber International. Ya Allah, Ya Hadi, our guide, we know that all progress and success come from you. Guide us to always acknowledge and serve others. Give us the drive to create new things, to be honest, and to do well for our country and the world. Ya Allah, Ya Hakim, giver of wisdom, give strength and wisdom to the President of Junior Chamber International. Bless their leadership, help them make good choices, be sincere in their work, and build a future where young leaders can grow and help the world. Ya Allah, Ya Mu'alim, may you make this meeting important for all our students in our school community. Inspire them to be smart, strong, and good people. Help them to be good at learning, also to have a strong business spirit, a global view, and care for others. Ya Allah, Ya Alim, bless all of our teachers, staff, and students. Make them eager to learn, humble when they succeed, and patient when things are hard. Make us strong in our efforts for our country and our faith, and also keep us away from laziness and giving up. Ya Allah, Ya Sami, you hear everything. We pray that today's event goes well, full of good lessons, and helps all of us. May every good intention, every effort, and every step we take be seen by you as good deeds that you accept. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzaban nar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Entering the next event, welcoming remarks by IB Head of School. To Mr. Oscar Justino Karaskalau MPD, the time is yours.
The Most Honorable TCI World President Mr. Keisuke Shimoyamada, the Honorable TCI Vice Presidents along with the respected TCI representatives, all distinguished guests, Managing Director of School Development Directorate, National School Principal, Head of Dormitory, with Board Member of School Management, teacher and staff of SMA Pradita Dirgantara, my beloved students of SMA Pradita Dirgantara, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam, salam sejahtera bagi kita sekalian, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, dan salam kebajikan. First of all, let us express our gratitude to the Almighty God. Because of His grace and blessings, we are able to gather here in good health and joyful spirit to attend the Stadium generally at the Auditorium SMA Pradita Dirgantara. It is truly an honor to welcome all of you to this special occasion, on occasions where we have the privilege of learning from an inspiring global leader, someone who embodies the spirit of service, innovation, and entrepreneurship that transcends borders. On behalf of our school community, I would like to express our deepest appreciations to Mr. Keisuke Shimoyamada, the World President of Junior Chamber International, for your generosity in sharing your knowledge, wisdom, and experience with us today. We are truly honored by your presence. In this Stadium General, we raise the topic, Global Mindset for Future Entrepreneurs. This topic could not be more relevant to our times. We live in an era where the world feels both fast and small. Fast in opportunities, but small in distance. Technology connects us instantly across continents, but it also challenges us to to, uh, to have a step outside our comfort zone, to understand new perspectives, and collaborate across cultures. Mr. Keisuke, at the SMA Pradita Gantara, we believe that true education prepares students not only to excel academically, but also to engage meaningful with the global community. That is why our school embraced the international mindedness, and we would like to nurture our students' international mindedness, critical thinking, and ethical leaderships. When we talk about developing a global mindset, we do not simply mean being fluent in English or having the chance to travel the world. A global mindset goes deeper. It is about seeing diversity as a source of strength, solving problems through collaboration, and leading others with empathy, respect, and purpose. My beloved students, as young learners and future leaders, you are living in a time of rapid change in technology, environment, and also the global economy. The careers you will have in the future may not even exist today, but one thing will always remain true. The world will always need entrepreneurs, people who create value, drive innovation, and life better for others. And that, I believe, is what it means to have a global entrepreneur mindset, to use your creativity and courage not only to achieve personal success, but also contribute to the greater good. Mr. Shimoyamada's journey and leaderships are a remarkable example of that mindset in action. As the world president of GCI, he leads a network of young, active citizens around the world who dedicate themselves to creating positive change. Under his leadership, GCI continues to remind young people that success is not measured merely by personal achievement, but how we contribute to the lives of others. At SMA Pradita Gantara, I am proud to see many of our students already taking steps in that direction through your personal project, your CAST initiative, your social project that reach communities beyond our school. These are not just school activities. They are your training ground to think globally and act locally. But remember, having a global mindset does not mean losing your roots. It means understanding who you are, where you come from, and bringing your culture and values confidently to the global stage. Our Indonesian values, gotong royong, tanggung jawab, tepo seliro, kejujuran, are timeless principles that the world needs today. These are the foundations of strong characters and leaderships. Ladies and gentlemen, as educators, our mission is not only to help students adapt to the future, but to empower them to shape it. It is possible only when we nurture in them the courage to think independently, the compassion to act responsibly, and the confidence to connect globally. I hope today's sessions will inspire our students to see the world as a classroom without borders, a place where ideas, innovations, kindness can travel freely. Dear our students, listen closely, take notes, and ask thoughtful questions. Learn not only from what Mr. Shimoyamada will share, but also from how he views the world as the interconnected community where every person has a role to play. Before I close, once again, I would like to extend my gratitude to Mr. Keisuke Yumosada for being with us today despite your very busy schedule. We do apologize if there are some mistakes during the event today. I think that's all my opening remarks. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
become better leaders and contribute to their communities.
Mr. Shimoyamada is a visionary business executive and international civic leader. Graduated from California State University with a bachelor's degree, with more than a decade of experience in both corporate and JCI leadership. Currently serving as a president and CEO of Intertech Co. Ltd., a Tokyo-based company specializing in synthetic resin manufacturing and global expansion. He has also played a pivotal role in fostering youth empowerment, global citizenship, and sustainable development. Within JCI, his journey has been remarkable, from local president of JCI Tokyo to executive vice president for Asia and the Pacific, and now leading the global organization as its president for 2025. Fluent in Japanese and English, and conversant in Chinese, Mr. Shimoyamada embodies the spirit of collaboration, diplomacy, and international understanding that JCI stands for.
Please join us in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Keisuke Shimoyamada.
Selamat pagi. Thank you. Wow, you guys, this room is filled with energy. I love that. Yes. Terima kasih. Terima kasih. All protocol observed. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity to stand in front of you and speak about entrepreneurship for future leaders. So before we start, I'd like to make sure that everyone is on the same page. The definition of entrepreneurship. It's not, when you think about entrepreneurship, what do you think of? I would like to hear from a student, if I may. Any volunteer? What is entrepreneur? What do they do? Anyone? Wait. Oh, okay, here. Okay. Great, thank you.
So good afternoon, sir. My name is Muhammad Fahri Amanulo, and I'm from class 11-2. And according to the knowledge that I've understand in business management that I've been taught by Mrs. Me, if she's here, huge shout out to her. Okay. So entrepreneurship is a very important skill because in business management that we learn in IB, it's actually four of the most crucial thing in business, which is leadership, labor, land, and also finance, which is loan. All right. So that's the definition by the business management terminology. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Are you really in high school? Yeah, wow. You're very smart. Thank you. The entrepreneurship is actually a really important skill, but I would like you to think outside the box. Entrepreneurs are not just the people who start businesses. Entrepreneurs, they have an ability to provide solutions for social issues as well. But what do they do? How we define entrepreneurship? So this is a definition of entrepreneur. I would say entrepreneur is someone who takes a risk to pursue the betterment of him or herself, or community, or company. So someone who is not afraid of risk and the challenge in the status quo or existing issues. But it doesn't mean that you can just, oh wait, maybe it's not appropriate metaphor, but like, have you ever played the poker? Yeah? Okay. Sorry, teacher. Okay, so when you play blackjack or poker game with your friends, you look at your cards, right? And then you look at the dealer's card. And then calculate. So being entrepreneur doesn't mean that close your eyes and all in. No, it's too risky, isn't it? You wouldn't do that. You have to calculate the risk, but you shouldn't be afraid of risk, because in calculation, you also prepare. You also draw a roadmap for future. Maybe, poker is not a good example, but you see what I mean, right? You just don't go all in without the calculating risk. Okay. It's important when you're in school, you have to study, but at the same time, you have to have a friendship. You have to have a good time with your friends too. Okay, that's great. Sorry. Okay, so entrepreneurs, I think everyone understood. So I'm not just going to talk about the business or successful stories of my career or business whatsoever. But by the way, I'm not a natural born leader. All of us are inspired by other people and become a leader. There is no natural born leader. So in that sense, in high school, I was just a normal student. But later on, as I met many people, I've been inspired, and I've drawn a vision, a roadmap, and I study, based on the vision. First, you have to have a vision, whom you want to be, who you want to be in the future, what type of a leader you want to be. And as a leader, in every occasion, you have a chance, you have an opportunity to lead other people or follow other people, vice versa. You cannot just be a leader at the same time. You have to work closely with the team. So in that sense, in a teamwork, you learn how to become a leader as well. So being a follower actually helps you become a leader in the future. So everyone, I think all of you have a bright future. If you don't go all in, close your eyes and all in. But I'm very glad. Sorry, I have to go back to the stage because I think there's a microphone. I think I'm supposed to be using this microphone. Okay. But I'm so glad to be here in Indonesia because I come from Japan. If I didn't join JCI, I wouldn't have a chance to stand in front of you and talk to you, and I see see something in your eyes because all of you are very motivated and enthusiastic. Okay, so speaking of my leadership journey, I would say I'm still climbing up a ladder, just like you guys. JCI is a global organization that exists in more than 110 countries And we have active members, 160,000 members. And if we include the senior members, the number will be 1 million easily. But I do not wish to have this year as a pinnacle of my lifetime career. So just like you guys, just like all of you, I'm still climbing up a ladder, because I would say this journey is a lifelong journey. You know, learning is a lifetime journey. No matter how old you are, you can still learn. And every day you learn something new. But it is important to come up with a system how to memorize that, well, how to keep the memory, and how to utilize lessons in your everyday life. Well, admittedly, 70% of event happen in a day. You know, we forget the 70% of what happened in a day. Well, some of you have good memories. Maybe you don't forget many things. But as a study shows, 70%, we forget the 70% of what happened in a day. So we need to memorize. We need to come up with a system how to memorize. And I'm sure that you take notes, or you review, stuff like that. So it's important not to forget things. Okay. So as a teacher explained what we do in a JCI, we are a global leadership development organization. And here in Indonesia, we also have a JCI Indonesia. And it stands for Junior Chamber International. And this is not my profession. I also run a company in Japan called Intertech Limited. So I have a family, business, and outside the business and work, the family and work, I devote myself to JCI because I believe in the future leaders. Because today, around the world, the population of young people, the age between 20 to 40 is only 20% of the world population. But those 20%, including you, not you yet, you're not 20 yet, but soon you will be. But you will shape the future, of the world. So it's 100%. It's guaranteed, right? So why don't we invest in young people like you, so that we can create a better world together? We live on the planet. It's only one, for a human being to live. So we have to make sure that we pass this beautiful earth to the next generation. So in that sense, I'm glad to be in a JCI, being able to nurture young leaders around the world. So speaking of the global mindset, it is inevitable to know where you come from and who you are. Global mindset doesn't mean that you can forget about your nationality or culture. Because we live with a stereotype. And for example, where I come from. I come from Japan. And at the opening, we heard the beautiful singing by one of your students, or two of your students. I heard it's a Doraemon song. Isn't it? Okay, but why did they choose the Japanese song? Because I'm Japanese, right? So I cannot ignore where I come from, and I cannot change my past. So for leaders who are equipped with global mindset. I highly recommend to study about the culture and history and the trivias about your culture, about your country. Wherever you go, probably one of the first questions you are asked will be where you're from. And would you say, oh, I'm from Monaco? No, you wouldn't, would you? No, right? That's good. So it's important. I'm sorry, it was a really bad joke because sometimes I've seen JC and Monaco members forgot their national flag. They ask a JC and Indonesia member to use their flag because it looks the same. You can also ask if you forget your flag, you can also ask a Polish people and a Monaco people. But what I'm saying is, you have to know about your culture. And when you go abroad, you compare other culture with your own culture because that's your standard, isn't it? How many of you have traveled abroad? Please raise your hand if you have traveled abroad. Oh, many. Okay. How about you, gentlemen over there? Where did you go? Where have you been? Thank you. What I'm saying that, big round of applause. Thank you. So what I'm saying is, when you go abroad, you compare their culture of food with your own, thing. And by doing so, you can see the strength and the weakness of your country. Well, I do the same. To be honest with you, I left home yesterday, but I'm already missing home. Because I was traveling for 40 days before going home, and I only stay home for 3 days this time. And I'm not going home until December this time. Well, I understand you live in school, but at least you're in Indonesia. Abroad, it's so difficult to find a Japanese food or hot spring or anime I would like to see. But it's just one of the examples. But I'm really grateful to be here. So what I'm saying is when you go abroad, you compare their culture with yours, and you find the strength and the weakness. And what you can do with it, when you see a strength, perhaps you can, so talking about business, perhaps you can do brainstorming how to export that system or good practice from Indonesia to other countries. Vice versa, when you see a weakness of your country or community, you can bring good best practices or good system from other country to implement in your local community or country. This applies to business as well. Like for example, here in Indonesia has the most islands than any other countries in the world, with a population size of 270 million people. And Indonesia is known to be one of the advanced, Indonesia known to have one of the most advanced fintech. You know why? Because actually sending a cash, actually notes and the coins to those islands costs a lot of money, right? Because they, the logistic company have to use a ship, sometimes airplane, trucks and cars. So it costs a lot of money. So that's why Indonesia's startups, especially in fintech companies, they collaborated with the government to promote the digital currency. So it's the speed of the growth was so rapid, it didn't even exist when I first came to Indonesia, like 11 years ago. So Indonesia has the most islands in the world. This is the strength. But it can also be a weakness in terms of distribution of currency. Oh. Okay, that's better. The good practices, business ideas. Because weakness can be a business opportunity, like especially for social entrepreneurs. And I studied how to become a social entrepreneur from this organization because in Japan, we do a lot of community development project in cooperation with the government sectors. And it is absolutely okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from them. But when you run a business, it will be difficult because you have to calculate the risk. And at the same time, you have employees. When you're an entrepreneur, a CEO of the company, you have to make sure that your family receive enough salary, your employees receive enough salary. Right? Yeah, okay, thank you. So, but actually trying something new, from scratch is like so challenging. And in fact, 30% of the startups, they die in 3 years. And if the entrepreneur wants to survive for 10 years, the number is like, I don't know, maybe 10%. A very small percentage. That's why we need a place where you can exercise new skills and try your idea in a smaller scale. So social, that's why JCI provides young people with the place to exercise, those skills. But it's actually, it doesn't have to be linked with business actually. You can also learn a global mindset. Like for example, when I was a local president of JCI Tokyo, Japan, we are known for sumo wrestling. And my organization organizes all national sumo tournament for elementary school students. So my so 2 years ago, we decided to invite the winner of a sumo tournament from Ukraine because we wanted to do something, collaborate with the Ukrainian kids. And we have been inviting Mongolian kids for 10 years, and we wanted to try something new. And of course, there was a risk. But, when you have a passion, when you share a passion and a vision with your team will, work for you. The first feedback from my team when I pitched the idea of inviting a Ukrainian kid is like, oh, it's impossible. We don't have any contact there. They are having a war. We do not want to go. Initially, I wanted to go to Ukraine as well because my friend is running an orphanage in Ukraine, and I wanted to help him out. And we visited the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and we were advised that not to travel to Ukraine. So we have given up going to Ukraine at that moment, but we asked my friend to organize a sumo tournament in Ukraine and invited the 3 elementary school students and with their parents or mother. And 2 years later, this year, one of the students won a gold medal. And he will be invited to a professional sumo gym to become a sumo wrestler in the future. So this is something, this is something we can, very small thing, but we provided the young people in Ukraine with the development opportunities. But what strikes us the most is the feedback from their parents. We had, I have to be honest with you, we wanted to do this project mostly for humanitarian reason. We wanted to provide the young children in Ukraine with the opportunity, but also we wanted to enhance our brand awareness by inviting overseas guests. So both of them, I would say we accomplished both of them. But when we host the press conference, one of the mothers started crying. And we asked her why. And she said, in Ukraine, she has never seen her son smiling because of the condition or environment they live in. But when the mother and a son are traveling in Japan, son was able to go to a sumo gym, learn from professional wrestlers, enjoy the Japanese food and so on. So he was constantly smiling. So not only about accomplishment we made, but also we are proud of making a kid smile. That was very touching story, and many members, including my team and the Sumo Association, were very inspired by this event. So actually interacting with the people who come from different backgrounds will inspire you and your friends when you have a project, because you share same vision despite of the different backgrounds. So I explained how you can build the global mindset, but I have to explain why global mindset is important. Because we live in today's world, we live in, globalization is inevitable. And whatever you're wearing or whatever you're playing with, for example, you have a nice watch. So where it's from? You don't have to say it's. Okay, nice. But is it from Indonesia? Oh, okay. So that's Indonesia. That's good.
I chose a bad example. Like, for example, your glasses. You have nice glasses. Is it from Indonesia? Material and everything?
I think it is from Korea, sir.
It's from Korea. Oh, yeah, right? So everything we wear, everything we touch, or everything like things we eat, they come from other countries too. So the business today cannot survive without a global supply chain. That's why we need to have a global mindset to facilitate and take advantage of global supply chain. So that's the point from entrepreneurs' mindset. But at the same time, from the leader's point of view, global mindset is important, especially to ensure conformity and to facilitate the project with the people who come from different background. You can also ask your teacher about his experience, the peacekeeping operation in Sudan. I have no idea how challenging it was. You have people, great teachers around you who have had international experiences, who still have international experiences. So you can ask your teachers, about the experiences. But the second point is the style of leadership is not the same. The leadership is not one size fits all. In Africa, they have a different style of leadership. In Japan, we have a different style of leadership. So does Indonesia. So based on the ideal leadership you desire, you can also work around it. You can add more colors to it, I would say. All right, let's say I become the head teacher of this school. Oh, okay. So what if I enforce like Japanese style of education? Some of you may have a trouble with that. Some of you may enjoy it, I don't know. But I wouldn't do that because you have your backgrounds. You have been through Indonesian education system. So that's your basic, right? That's your standard. So if I become a head teacher of this school, I will definitely follow the curriculum and also Indonesian teaching style with Japanese maybe element a little bit. So global mindset is a spice. Like I like cooking, but when you cook, you add the spices, right? Okay, so Indonesia is known for delicious cuisine. You guys use a lot of spices like cumin, what else? Cardamom, cloves, nutmeg. All of those are important recipes, right? The ingredients of the food. So global mindset is also similar. It's just a spice. The base is what you learn. But nowadays, the information is available everywhere. So you have to filter out what's important and then what's the redundant. So in that sense, you can't really trust the SNS, for example. You have to see it. You have to see it on your own eyes. That's the best. That's the first class information. And the second class would be legitimate articles or reports or thesis. And there are like rubbish information out there too. So nowadays, today's world is like first is than yesterday. You can gain a lot of information, and you can be connected with the people around the world at the drop of a hat. But at the same time, I highly advise you to, see things on your own eyes. Okay. So, let me double check. I had an outline of a form. Well, it looks like the time is running out, so I will conclude my session briefly, shortly. Hold on, I'm not done yet. My last, I almost wanted to, I already told the things I wanted to share with you. You guys are 100%. It's 100% that you guys are shaping the future. That's why we would like to invest in you guys. And secondly, the global mindset. We are not the natural born leaders. We learn to become leaders by interacting with others, by inspiring and being inspired by others. And then thirdly, in order to gain global mindset, you have to use a network, you have to use technology, but at the same time, you have to see things in your own eyes. Seeing is believing. And most importantly, entrepreneurship is a seed of a nation. Indonesia's three biggest industries are agriculture, fishing, and the tourism. All of them are great. Indonesia is like 260 million people, and a GDP size in 2040, Indonesia is going to be one of the top 10 countries by 2050. So it is a promising idea that Indonesia will grow. But at the same time, when the economy is growing, the population of young people tend to decrease, because we will face an aging society in the future. The GDP of Indonesia is backed by the population size for the most part. But when you guys face the aging society, the GDP might decrease. But how are you going to prevent that? That's when the technology and a brilliant idea can step in. An entrepreneur is a seed of a nation. Like, for example, SNS. Now, what kind of a social media do you guys use? Like Instagram, TikTok, maybe? How about Facebook? No, right? But I tell you, when I was in university in 2006, that's when Facebook was launched. And it was used among students. First, we used Facebook to exchange information. Who is a good teacher? Who gives good credit? What's extra credit? All of those. But now it became, viral around the world. It has become one of the biggest social network in the world. And back in early 2000, United States, of course they had like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and so on, but no one really paid attention to social network, and no one really predicted that SNS is such a lucrative business. Now we have YouTubers, people who live their lives, make their living on a social network. So this is what I'm saying. It's the Mark Zuckerberg is an entrepreneur who actually didn't afraid of risk and the built an empire. And then now, Meta is one of the key engines that drive American economy. So entrepreneur is the seed of a country. Therefore, the countries around the world invest a lot and support entrepreneurs. And the JCI is facing the same direction. We have initiatives that support entrepreneurs as well. But it doesn't matter what you guys do, what you want to study, but most importantly, be passionate about what you like and use your talent to benefit others. I think that's how you can differentiate yourself from others. And that's there are good leaders and bad leaders. Bad leaders always complain or they tend to be angry, but good leaders, they use their talent to benefit others. So this mindset, I would say this is universal. And then make sure you study about your country, because when you go abroad, you'll be asked, where are you from? And what's Indonesia like? And if you cannot answer, it's difficult to continue conversation, exchange information. But overall, thank you very much, all of you. And maybe within 10 years, I'd like to see you grow. Maybe I'll come back. But terima kasih. And do we have a Q&A session after this? Okay. Well, I'm still climbing up a ladder, just like you guys. So let's grow together and rise up to nurture future generations. Thank you very much. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Mr. Keisuke Shimoyamada, for the insightful session. Next, we will have a Q&A session.
Okay. 1 and 2? Oh, nice. All right, thank you very much. All right, as an individual, it is resilience is one of the key elements for an individual to survive. And I would say to survive, you have to try something new, or you have to be innovative. That's why you need to take a risk, for the betterment. So that's why entrepreneurial spirit is really important. And the war, the conflicts, that happened around the world, and then tariff. As a civil group, we cannot impose the tariff at this moment. but we have to be, as a business owner, I have to be flexible and to adapt the situation. I think being being able to adapt new environment, you have to have a knowledge, friends with the knowledge, or when you have if you've been through similar experiences, you can adapt easier. Like for business-wise, when the pandemic hit, my company's sales dropped 70% a month. So it was very challenging when we started something new, the different type of business. But it gave us courage to try, something new. And I think it all depends on motivation and experience. As a leader, you have to provide your team with experiences. So leader's job is leaders are not given a crown. Leaders are given a responsibility to bring your team's ability so that you can overcome difficulties. It's not 100% guaranteed, but as a leader, you have to trust your team and you have to lead your team wisely. So in that sense, when without any the global issues, the conflict, or the major issues, you can always nurture your team by giving them task and responsibility. But when a crisis hit, you really have to lead your team well. You know what I mean? You have to train your team, and when a crisis happens, you have to lead your team. Because that's, I would say, in JCI, JCI could not save the world from, could not save Ukraine or Russia, but we have a JCI in Ukraine and in Russia as well. And both of them are working really hard to implement peace, with some degrees, in their own ways. So there's something we can always do, when crisis happens. So never give up, be ambitious, and lead your team wisely. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Shimoyamada.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, sorry. My name is Dennis, and I want to ask a really simple question. So, in Pradita, student organizations and social projects are a very integral part of the learning experience. I myself am a president of a social project, and I want to ask you, we have talked a lot about the theory behind what makes a good entrepreneur, different leading styles, needs different pairs well in different situations. So I want to ask more practical questions like, how do we scale up our impacts for our social projects, and can you give several tips on how to secure funding and also increase more impact to our society? Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I would say you gotta have a big vision, right? So you have a dream. When you share your dream with others, it becomes vision. And based on the vision, you can do a moonshot approach to come up with the approaches, right? So you may have a roadmap. Maybe it's a 5 years planning, 3 years planning. Within 1 year, it is extremely challenging to accomplish something big. But at the same time, you can always seek, partnership. With the like-minded partners, you can create something bigger. Maybe like government sectors, or even JCI, for example, a local JCI here. And yeah, I mean, based on the goal, you can always come up with the um, methods. Like for example, like when I was younger, when I was a younger and in charge of a community development project in my local town, I did a crowdfunding. So that was an option to, raise, funding, so that with some degrees we accomplished to create a bigger impact. But I would like you to dream big, you know. Otherwise, don't just finish your vision in 1 year. You have to make sure that you leave something, you leave legacy for your successors. So based on your goal, you can easily find, based on your goal, you should create a roadmap and inviting, your successors and friends, so that gradually you can create a bigger impact. Or any specific question you want to ask? Or it was very generalized, answer, because I don't know what you do. But at JCI the same, because we have a 1 year to lead system. Our role ends in 1 year, so it's very challenging to create a big impact. But and I also had a big vision for this organization. We wanted to create the impact big. First time in 110 years for JCI to create impact big. We do so many good things around the world, but we are not sure how much impact we're giving. So we calculated all the impact based on United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So we made our accomplishment from intangible to tangible. With a numeric figure, with the numbers, we can discuss with the partners and sponsors easily. So like, for example, when we go to government sector, we can tell them, hey, this is this is the amount of people we are providing the trainings around the world. Stuff like that. When you want to find the sponsors or partners, you have to use numbers. And also, you have to choose like-minded partners. But I would say number is a key. So when you have a vision and when you create a roadmap, you can tell them, hey, within 5 years, we would like to reach out to this, much people. And that's the vision, right? And if your partner or sponsor agree with your vision, they will, join your project. So that's how you make your project bigger, and that's how you create a bigger impact. You often say Rome isn't built today. Rome isn't built in a day. So it takes some time. But I really like your ambition. So keep up your good work and be ambitious. Thank you.
And that's the end of our Q&A session. Thank you to Mr. Keisuke Shimoyamada for the valuable knowledge. We would like to request for Mr. Shimoyamada to remain on the stage to receive a token of appreciation. We would also like to invite Mr. Ari Presmana Tarigan, GCI representative, and Mr. Lilik to come up on the stage and give the token of appreciation. Next, a group photo session. We would also like to invite the school leaders and invited guests to be involved in a group photo session on the stage. The first pose in 3, 2, 1.
Once again, in 3, 2, 1. The next pose. In 3, 2, 1. Once again, in 3, 2, 1.
The last pose. Okay, the last pose in 3, 2, 1. Once again, in 3, 2, 1.
Thank you for the group photo session. For Mr. Keisuke Shimoyamada, please remain on stage. And to all respected guests for the photo session, you may return to your seats. Now, the signing quote session on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is pinning ceremony. To the membership of JCI Junior Club Pradita Dirgantara High School by World President Mr. Keisuke Shimoyamada. Thank you for the pinning ceremony. For Mr. Keisuke, you may return to your seats.
We sincerely thank Mr. Keisuke Shimoyamada for generously sharing his valuable knowledge and experience with all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to our speaker today.
Ladies and gentlemen, this marks the end of our event. We also extend our deepest gratitude to all of the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and friends for your presence and valuable participation. Matcha dreams with soft caramel.
Lanterns flicker as they all go out. I am Nara.
And I am Michael, and we are signing out. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Santi 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 Om.
Untuk siswa dan siswi sebelum keluar dan meninggalkan auditorium bisa mengambil kursi masing-masing dan menaruh di samping barat dan timur auditorium. Sekali lagi untuk siswa dan siswi SMA Pradita Dirgantara sebelum meninggalkan auditorium diharapkan untuk merapikan kursi masing-masing di sebelah timur dan barat auditorium.